keeping on this theme, actually, it was great that Neil brought up measurement so much, because we actually have the co-founder and CEO of Quantcast next. And one of the things he's going to talk about is, and this is something that literally, the second CM Summit in New York, we at FM rolled out an attempt to measure what Laney was just talking about. We all know that we use Google and that we use the blue links that Google finds for us, and then we go to the rest of the web. It's easy to measure how many people go to google.com. It's super hard to measure how many people go to all those long tail links down the end of the web, right? So we are going to hear from Konrad about how he's going to work on just that problem. So please join me in welcoming Konrad Feldman, the co-founder and CEO of Quantcast. Welcome.
Good morning. So Quantcast is an audience measurement and targeting company. And we directly measure a very large portion of the web, working with many of the organizations that are here today, as well as millions of websites around the world. This gives us an incredible understanding of digital audiences. Because of this, Federated asked us to talk a little about the idea of the independent web. And I want to just extend that concept a little from what Laney discussed and talk about how we get the web to the $200 to $400 billion digital economy that Neil Mohan of Google mentioned this morning. And that's about creating a web that's independent of some of the shackles of traditional media measurement and traditional media buying and selling. This is how we get and create a truly democratized internet economy. The web created a foundation for anyone who has a point of view or a voice to garner an audience. And content technology innovation, exemplified by companies like Tumblr and WordPress, have massively lowered the barriers to entry in terms of producing high-quality online content, effectively democratizing publishing. And now anyone, with a point of view can produce content and attract a following for people that are interested in the topics that they're interested in themselves. Here's an example. cleanTechnica, a site that focuses on clean tech and renewable energy. This is built on WordPress. They use Quantcast Measurement, our free measurement product, and you can see they attract over 200,000 visitors every month. We can get into much more detail. Quantcast Measurement is used by well over 100 million web destinations around the world. In addition to providing information on traffic, we provide a really detailed and rich set of audience information. Here we can understand the audience for cleanTechnica and see that it's an affluent, well-educated audience with a keen interest in science and technology. The type of audience that can attract advertisers whose purchase of space and inventory on that site will fund more content and attract more interested audience participants. This is just one of the millions of sites that are enabled by WordPress. And if you want to understand the power of democratized content creation, just take a look at the effect of all of those sites together. Content created on WordPress reaches over 600 million people worldwide every month. And because content can be created so easily, there's no shortage of things to look at on the internet. You can look at the local landscape, you can look at your lunch, you can look at some twigs, you can look at desks, cheese, you can even look at baths. And if you like to look at Kim Jong-un looking at things, you can do that too. And you wouldn't be alone. We can see that on a given day here, I'm not sure what happened on February the 10th, but Kim 3.0, as he would be called here in the Valley, obviously looked at something particularly interesting. Over 40,000 people in one day, and a very specific audience. We can see here this is a male audience that indexes very highly in the coveted 18 to 34 range. And again, we can see that when content creation is democratized, content that people are interested in gets quickly created, and that attracts massive audiences very quickly, as the resulting growth chart for Tumblr demonstrates here so clearly. Now, it's not just niche sites that use Quantcast measurement. Quantcast used by a huge proportion of the largest digital media companies as well. In fact, if you look at the top 1,000 sites, over half of them use Quantcast. But it's really the ability to understand smaller audiences, because any large site is the long tail in a microcosm, that really helps us understand the unique characteristics of people consuming different content and puts us in a position to understand how to put relevant content and offers in front of those people and to more effectively monetize the content that's being created. Our approach combines big data and machine learning and enables us to create these audience profiles for sites of any size. But just measuring audiences only goes part of the way to fully supporting an independent web. There are millions of media choices, with tens of billions of individual impressions available every day. And this media fragmentation at an absolutely massive scale results in massive complexity for the media buying and selling processes that we've relied upon for decades. And you see, typically the types of technology and skill sets necessary to effectively package disparate audiences and match what an advertiser is looking for and create compelling, effective, and scalable campaigns has only been available to the very largest organizations. It requires, no kidding, real-time tech chops, petabyte-scale supercomputing, and historically that's only been accessible to the largest portals. In addition to technology, it also takes skilled packaging and integration to satisfy the needs of leading and premium publishers. That's where organizations like Federated Media have stepped in, and they really can help do that packaging and integration and help these independent web destinations flourish. But what about getting access to the kinds of technology that I just mentioned? Technology that can translate a marketer's specific requirements into real-time advertising with incredible relevancy, performance, and scale. We've all seen this type of technology in action. Search is so effective because advertisers can deliver a highly relevant message on a per-impression basis in real time and with certainty. Advertisers can be confident that the audience that is delivered is who they intended to reach when they built their plan, and huge budgets follow. This is what effective advertising should be all about. And when it all comes together, it can really be revolutionary. Google did it for search, and Facebook did it for social. But what about display more broadly? It's remained largely unsolved. We launched Quantcast 5 years ago with a belief that real-time, data-driven advertising should be accessible for everyone, not just the largest companies. And we built our company and products with this objective in mind. Just as platforms like WordPress and Tumblr have democratized content creation, we're democratizing the real-time data that makes systematic media buying accessible to all advertisers and deliverable by all publishers. Advertisers use Quantcast measurement just like publishers do to understand their audiences and the distinct characteristics of their best customers. Quantcast targeting translates this insights into real-time media for performance and brand campaigns, campaigns that deliver consistent results at scale across the entire web. We help advertisers create their very own independent web. And for publishers, Quantcast targeting creates new revenue streams by automatically matching their impressions against the audience segments that advertisers value the most. When audience measurement and audience targeting is democratized, we create a consistent way of buying and delivering advertising and can vastly simplify online media commerce. When we make it easier for advertisers to spend money, then more money gets spent on content, and as more money gets spent on content, it can be used to fund the creation of more content. More great content attracts more consumer attention, and this is how we grow the independent web. And its growth is creating huge opportunities. For independent advertisers to better find and reach audiences that care about their products and services. For independent publishers to better package and sell the inventory their unique content creates. And for independent consumers to access content and receive offers that are relevant, interesting, and timely to their lives. Thank you.